Successful real estate investors can understand, recognize, and profit from other people's money. Why? Well, it's because they have mastered the technique of investing in real estate without having any personal funds. This is a tempting option for newer and less wealthy investors to enter the real estate market without having the necessary cash or credit. Veteran investors, on the other hand, have discovered that using other people's money liquidates their available funds and frees up their money to invest more and ultimately generate more money. Real estate investing is a great way to get closer to your goal of financial independence. You need to start investing in real estate if you want to start generating a steady and sustainable passive income. I know that most people find it difficult to find the cash they need to buy a house or to start investing in real estate. Well, this is the question that pesters a lot of prospective real estate investors who have never invested before. Real estate investing is a tried and true strategy for increasing wealth, so if you want to learn how to invest in real estate with no money of your own, you are in luck. If nothing else, you don't necessarily need to put money into it to get started. You need to learn how to recognize, understand, and even profit from other people's money. Stay with me, guys, as I walk you through some tried and true methods for making multi-million real estate investments without a lot of cash or experience. Okay, let's start with hard money lenders. Hard money lenders, as opposed to private lenders, impose fees in the form of points. In addition to the interest rates hard money lenders charge, which range between 10 and 18%, these points, which can range from 3 to 5, indicate an additional upfront percentage fee based on the borrowed amount. Investors should conduct due research because fees and interest rates with hard private money lenders are not always the same. Private money lenders. Private money loans, which expedite and streamline every transaction, often cost investors between 6 and 12% interest on the borrowed funds. Using hard or private money lenders is the most common strategy for financial real estate deals with no money down. These loans are not provided by banks, but rather by people and companies who want to finance investments that will yield a profit. Additionally, these loans typically have their own set of requirements, such as more fees and higher interest rates. Finding residences that can be purchased for 50 cents on the dollar is a solid rule of thumb when using these kinds of lenders. Wholesaling. Wholesaling is a real estate investing strategy that doesn't demand a high credit score or a significant down payment. Instead, all it takes is having the appropriate number in place. Finding discounted properties, handing over the contract to a possible buyer, and receiving payment are the fundamental components of real estate wholesaling. Equity partnerships. Partnerships are a very popular way to invest in real estate. The co-founder of Lease Sourcing, Edward Shaw, states that forming alliances is a common strategy for real estate investing. As an investor, someone else can make up for your shortcomings. In many partnerships, one partner will locate a distressed property at a lower cost, while the other will use their credit standing and available funds to finance it. Just make sure that everyone contributes something. Before forming any type of partnership, more experienced investors should always discuss goals, risks, roles, and rewards. Home equity. Home equity is another choice for investors without a down payment. Since home values have increased recently, there may be more funds accessible than you may think, making this a potential alternative. There are typically two ways for investors to profit from this strategy: either rewrite the initial loan and perform a cash-out refinance, or leave the first loan in place and add a home equity line of credit. Option to buy. This technique, sometimes known as a lease option, enables investors to purchase buildings without immediately assuming ownership. However, the investor will formally agree to buy the property from the owner at a certain price in the future. In exchange, the investor agrees to rent the property out for an extended period with the option to purchase it at a later time for a certain sum. Seller financing. Instead of going via a bank to obtain a loan, an investor uses seller financing. The homeowner or seller and the investor sign a contract outlining the terms of the loan, including the interest rate, repayment schedule, and default penalties. House hacking. As the name implies, house hacking is a real estate tactic that enables smart investors to profit from a special circumstance. But with this specific exit plan, investors will generate rental income by renting out their primary residence. People who own multi-unit homes, for instance, might decide to rent out the space they aren't using. In this approach, the income from the rent might potentially be used to pay off the owner's mortgage. On the other hand, those who live in single-family homes could decide to rent bedrooms where they can. In either case, home hacking enables investors to reduce the risk of vacancy while simultaneously increasing cash flow. Microloans. The market has become more profitable for new real estate enterprises thanks to a multitude of new financing choices. Microloans, as the name implies, are typically oriented towards startups or newer firms that need funding to spur further growth. Compared to what typical financial institutions offer, microloans are substantially smaller. The lower balances will, in turn, mean that these programs' eligibility restrictions like credit scores are less stringent. If you have no money and want to invest in real estate, a microloan is a smart alternative. Trade houses. Another practical method of buying a new property is trade houses. You can buy a new property by exchanging an existing one for a new one while simultaneously avoiding the capital gains connected with selling a property. This is another proven way to invest in real estate with no money. Having said that, finding investment property for sale without a down payment is not a recent development. We can also see that there is no such thing as a no money down real estate investment because money must come from somewhere. Apart from the ways discussed earlier, there are several other ways to buy an investment property with no money down. While investing in real estate with no money down has many advantages, it's vital to remember that not all cashless transactions are worthwhile. Investors with excellent credit scores will not only have more working capital alternatives available to them, but they will also have greater control over their financial commitments. To save the most money as a real estate investor, it is in your best interest to keep the score at an exceptional level. But there are circumstances where using these choices make more sense. When compared to conventional loans, which take longer to complete, think about how direct cash buyers are perceived to be. This tactic can provide you with an unmatched advantage at the negotiating table if you have money on hand. Also, reading reputable real estate books and listening to seasoned investors who have made millions by investing in some of the nation's greatest real estate markets is important if you are new to real estate investment. You also need to know that renting out a house fast results in virtually immediate cash flow for the owner. It is one of the most significant choices that the majority of investors will make. Consequently, selecting a real estate expert or counselor remains a crucial step in this process. They have in-depth knowledge of important variables that have an impact on your niche markets, like alterations in market dynamics, market projections, consumer attitudes, ideal placements, optimal windows of opportunity, and interest rates. Alright guys, that's all for today. If you found this video interesting, please give us a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more.